It's Sunday, and you know what that means. It's Carlos Navas's birthday. Happy birthday, man. I'm going to sing you a little bit for a hike. I'm also going to sing you some happy birthday at the end of this. This one's for you, brother. I love you, man. Your day in the book of Wen Wellness. Also, Hunter Shaft's birthday. Happy birthday, big dog. Hope you have a great day. We'll be singing to you as well. Both are going to be in one song because we don't want to sing that many times. But what we're also going to talk about is growth hormone. So what is growth hormone? How do I boost growth hormone? You know, we've had questions of improving body composition, optimizing hormone levels. We've talked about testosterone, lots of other things. What is the deal with growth hormone? Well, we know growth hormone well for promoting the growth of bones, right, in children and adolescents, right? And levels will typically, decline as we age. But it's also important for muscle growth itself. It's also something that boosts metabolism and lean body mass and strength, right? So if we could manipulate growth hormone levels naturally without having to take HGH as we age, that would be fantastic. So what do we got? This thing's about to blow over. Well, first is less abdominal fat, right? Less belly fat. Actually, greater amounts of belly fat have an inverse correlation with the amount of growth hormone. So more belly fat, less growth hormone. So we want to reduce abdominal fat. We can do that through fasting, or we could do that through exercise, having a healthier, maybe ketogenic diet, more protein, things of that nature. Now, speaking of fasting, intermittent fasting boosts growth hormone levels, and by a significant degree if done correctly, okay? Or at least in the sense of boosting growth hormone. There are many ways that we could fast, different types of windows, but when it comes to boosting growth hormone, 24 hours of fasting has been shown to boost growth hormone by 500% in a recent trial involving 50 people, right? So that's pretty substantial. Now, you probably won't get the same increases in growth hormone if you're doing something like a 16-hour fast, but that's pretty substantial amount. And what did we just say lowers growth hormone? More belly fat, right? And intermittent fasting itself, regardless of the direct increase in growth hormone levels, will reduce belly fat over time, right? At least should for you if done correctly. And so that'll help to increase them. It's also lowering something else that's very important, insulin, right? You have lower insulin levels when you're fasting, and spikes in insulin are associated with decreases in growth hormone levels, which brings us to sugar. You want less sugar, because if you're having a lot of sugar, what's that increasing? Insulin, right? Because the insulin is helping your cells absorb the sugar. So if we can lower that insulin, we can lower that sugar intake, and hence insulin, we could increase growth hormone levels. GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid, is the major inhibitory neurotransmitter that we think of, or brain chemical, something that helps to relax our minds. We see it in things like magnesium, we see it in things like passion flower and lemon balm, and amino acids like L-theanine stimulate the release of GABA. And so it's something that can help us relax and help us to sleep. Right now, if you're getting more sleep, you're probably producing more growth hormone, right? But on top of that, GABA also directly promotes the release of growth hormone from the pituitary gland. Now, there are greater things to do, like we say, in terms of lifestyle, like fasting and exercise and than any real supplements for boosting growth hormone. But maybe do some research, and it couldn't hurt, right? You're also less stressed, and that's a good thing, for optimizing hormone levels in general, right? Aside from just improving sleep and whatnot. Exercise is a massive booster of growth hormone, especially high intensity exercise. That is number one. Doing HIIT training, sprints, compound movements, powerful, intense exercise. That will should definitely boost growth hormone levels, right? So also what I take around the time of exercise will affect my growth hormone levels. And if you chill out. Watching the property right now. You don't need to protect right now. You're good. So, what you take around the time, right? And if you take a pre-workout, that could boost growth hormone levels. But this comes with a few caveats, right? One, not one that actually contains high amounts of, or any really, casein protein or whey protein. Actually, having those before a workout have been shown, a few studies, to lower levels of growth hormone during the workout. Albeit, having more protein, say, during your eating window, or if you fast, could elevate them, right? So this is real tricky. The timing matters here. Now, if you were going to have some protein, then at least a source of amino acids, the building blocks of protein around the time you work out. You'd be better off with BCAAs right before, okay? But you could go right into the workout fasted if you want to. You know, if you haven't eaten in a long time, though, you risk going through amino acid catabolism or breakdown of the building blocks of your proteins, breakdown of muscle protein, right? You know, nobody wants that. But what are some ingredients that will directly boost growth hormone that have no calories you could find in a pre-workout or order in isolation? We have things like L-citrulline. L-citrulline, we know in the nitric oxide pathway, it boosts levels of nitric oxide. That's something that increases blood flow in the body. It opens up our blood vessels, right? And so it improves mental and physical performance because it can also cross the blood-brain barrier. It's something that lowers levels of ammonia in the body, right? Because it promotes the conversion of ammonia into urea. It's an intermediate in the urea cycle. But also, L-citrulline increases levels of growth hormone releasing hormone in the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is a major regulator of homeostasis in the body, of also of precursors or things that lead to hormone secretion, right? So that growth hormone releasing hormone will then travel down the hypophyseal trunk, or something that connects it to the adenohypophysis or the pituitary gland, right? And the names aren't that important, but just so you understand what's going on here, and trigger the release of growth hormone. And that's a good thing for increasing growth hormone. L-citrulline also increases the amount of receptors of insulin-like growth factor 1 in your muscles, IGF-1, right? And so that's, you know, associated with increased muscle protein synthesis, or building muscle, right? Using amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, and just a good thing for growth hormone release. So we have L-citrulline. Now we also have another thing in the citrulline arginine nitric oxide pathway, and you guessed it, it's arginine, right? So L-arginine combined with L-lysine has been shown to boost growth hormone levels as well. Now it wasn't the first one that I mentioned because citrulline is generally superior to arginine, as they're in the same pathways, a lot of the same pathways, and citrulline has a lower first pass metabolism, meaning less of it gets broken down before it reaches tissues to have a beneficial effect. And it also doesn't promote the production of arginase, which arginine does. That's an enzyme that breaks down arginine. So you'll actually foster greater levels of nitric oxide with citrulline supplementation over arginine, right? Now, in terms of growth hormone, there is probably more research, I would say, with arginine and lysine, so you could go with that, but citrulline definitely boosts it as well, and it's a fantastic ingredient. Creatine also increases growth hormone levels. Alpha GPC, alpha glycerylphosphorylcholine, increases growth hormone levels. And again, these all are 0 calorie, you know, besides anything with protein, right, of course, with the BCAAs. But they're 6 kilocalories per gram, so they're not much, right? But alpha GPC has to be at 600 milligrams. If it's less than 600 milligrams, it hasn't been proven to increase growth hormone levels. And we know alpha GPC for promoting increases in acetylcholine, the learning neurotransmitter, facilitates learning and memory and focus and attention and motivation and arousal and muscle contraction, not just growth hormone secretion. That's, you know, probably one of the last things we would talk about regarding alpha GPC with all the other benefits. Also has glycerol and phosphate, and those are constituents or components or portions of neuronal cell membranes. You know, if this is our cell membrane, we need to keep cell membrane integrity over time. We don't want damage to it because that affects the health of the cell, and that affects how that cell signals and works properly, right? And so it's important to keep those membranes nice and healthy and full of, you know, their natural constituents, right? So, you know, that's what we got for you guys. Those are some ways that you can boost growth hormone. You know, and I think the huge takeaways there are exercise and fasting, keeping your blood sugar levels low for extended periods of time, losing belly fat. And I think if you do some of those other things, you're going to lose belly fat, you're going to build more muscle, and that will cause greater increases in growth hormone and getting better sleep, right? So, you know, hope you guys get something out of it. Before we go, it's Carlos's birthday, so we're going to sing to him. And also Hunter Shaft. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carlos and Hunter. Happy birthday to you too, and many, many more. Happy birthday. I'm going to see you in like 30 minutes. So that's great, Carlos. We're going hiking. I can't wait, man. I'm not going to sing to you again in person, all right? Maybe, if you really want. But, hey, you got it, brother. Appreciate that. What's up, Ma? How you doing? Love you. Let's see who's on here. Say what's up. We're going to go hike and have fun. Give me that right now. How you doing? How you doing? Say goodnight, choke. Dave, Beast from the East. You got it, brother. Desinobos. Diego, Jose, Ashley. What's up, girl? How you doing? Bricker. Kevin, Erica. Hansworth. G-Wo. DK Miner. Happy Sunday and good morning, my friends. Skin and Body. Eteno. And Verbifine. Thanks for being on. Get something out of these and supporting your health, right? That's what it's all about. As for now, you guys. So we got for you folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have an awesome Sunday. Enjoy it. It's pretty nice, a little chilly, but, you know, put a sweatshirt on and go get outside. Have a great one. Happy Wellness. See ya.